travel may take a while to recover after the government shutdown ends. Hi, everyone. I'm Tram Mai. We've been tracking the impact of the shutdown at U.S. airports. Air traffic controllers and TSA agents are among those who have worked without pay for weeks. The FAA ordered airlines scale back flights at 40 major U.S. airports to keep travelers safe and ease the pressure on air traffic controllers. It's been gradually reducing air traffic. It's impacted thousands of flights across the country so far. When the government reopens, it would restore paychecks for federal workers and restart programs that have been frozen during the shutdown. But those airport disruptions and flight cancellations won't disappear right away. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy has said the flight cuts may stay in place after the shutdown. He said the FAA would not lift the flight restrictions until staffing at airport towers and air traffic centers makes it safe to do so.
We're at the cusp of hopefully having the government reopened. I'm concerned that we're not going to have on day one controllers come back into the towers right away. I'm asking them to do that. President Trump has asked them to do that. It is their jobs and they will be paid, but it might not be immediate that they come back in. We have some controllers who are put in a very difficult position. They're young. They don't make a lot of money when they first start out. They can make some good money later in their careers, but when they start out, they're not making a lot. They may be the sole source of income. And they were confronted with a real problem. Do I not feed my family? Or do I try to find another pathway to put food on the table? And that was very real.
Some air traffic controllers called in sick during the shutdown in protest. Others took time off to take on second jobs to support their families. Duffy says he expects air traffic controllers would get 70% of their back pay within 48 hours of the government reopening. It took more than 2 months for them to receive full back pay after the 35-day shutdown that happened back in 2019. The FAA was already seeing a shortage of about 3,000 controllers nationwide even before this shutdown. And now there's fear some may not even want to return to the job when the shutdown ends. Miguel Octavio has more details.
We just got to find something to do.
Hundreds of flights.
We got to find something better.
One message from passengers.
Just wish they would have fixed it sooner.
I think it's just really frustrating for everyone involved.
DeAndre Merrick says he won't travel this holiday season.
Just because of the cuts. Yeah, I know prices are going to be high, especially come holidays.
And that's when things could get worse. Aviation expert Mark Weinkrantz expects after a deal, air traffic controllers may decide not to return.
The problem is really going to manifest when we see how many people were fed up and said it's hard hours, it's a lot of work, it's stressful, and now they're not going to pay me.
No American should ever be forced to work without a paycheck.
The transportation secretary says 15 to 20 controllers are retiring each day. President Donald Trump posted on Truth Social telling them to get back to work or face pay cuts. He also suggested a $10,000 bonus for those who stay.
We will continue to work with the administration. We'll continue to fight for it.
For now, passengers say Congress needs to put people first.
And just think about the people. Like, don't think about your pockets. Think about the people. Please.
Airlines would need some time to readjust whenever the FAA's flight cuts are lifted. Many planes were rerouted and aren't where they're supposed to be. Make sure to keep checking your flight status before you head to the airport. Some airlines are also offering solutions, saying you can change your flight for free or get a full refund on a canceled flight. Millions of people at airports around the country have been affected by those delays and cancellations. Shalima Maharaj spoke to travelers in Colorado.
Now, while a lot of people are getting notifications on their phones in advance of their flights, there are still some people who are showing up here at the airport only to find out that their flights have either been delayed or scrapped altogether.
It was supposed to be a quick weekend trip from Friday and then come back on Monday.
In the end, quick isn't how it played out for Dominique Mosley.
I went up to Idaho Springs to go to one of my friends' wedding.
Getting there was pretty simple. Getting home,
of course, the Uber ride was $140. from the mountains to the airport. So that was already kind of like something I had to get over.
When she arrived at the airport, she learned her flight to Orlando had been canceled.
It's like 9:30, almost 10 o'clock at night at this time. My flight was supposed to be for 12:15. They told me the next flight wasn't until 3 p.m. the next day.
Roughly 1,200 flights were canceled in the U.S. on Tuesday, according to flight tracking website FlightAware.
Cautiously optimistic is how I'm viewing this.
Aviation expert Chad Kendall believes once the shutdown is over, airlines will be able to bounce back, rearranging their schedules quickly.
We'll still see some lingering delays with TSA and with the air traffic control. They're going to have to reassess their capacity, how many personnel they have at checkpoints, who they lost during the shutdown.
He says passengers should anticipate some delays.
I look at it like a traffic accident on I-25. The accident's cleared, but there's still a lot of traffic.
As for Dominique Mosley, she's home at last. Between meals, Uber rides, and a hotel stay, she says she spent around $500.
I didn't realize how the government shutdown was affecting everybody out there until it happened to me. So I think that more people should be mindful, including myself.
Well, Chad Kendall says it has always been important to know the policy of the airline that you're traveling with, but even more so in the middle of a government shutdown when those details can sometimes become very murky and, of course, stress levels are very high. Reporting from DIA, Shalima Maharaj, 9 News.
It seems more travelers may be hitting the road. Rental car companies are seeing a spike in one-way rentals. Hertz has reported they're up 20% as people look for backup plans amid the flight cuts. Some people are also choosing to travel by train instead. Tom George reports from North Carolina.
Verlissa Brown from Florida wasn't expecting to be at Raleigh's Union Station right now, but after losing her brother up north, the train was the only way to make it to his funeral.
It's too much happening now. You know, everything is all messed up at this point, so I don't think anyone should try to take planes.
She says with the ongoing shutdown, she didn't want to take any chances flying.
You probably wouldn't be there on time. The same thing that happened to a friend of mine, got on a plane and sat down. Everything was good, and then 5 minutes later, they was asking everyone to get off the plane.
Frankie McLean from New York in the same boat, visiting his sick mom in Raleigh, deciding the train would be better than the bus.
It's the next best thing, you know, and it's more comfortable on the train. It's better than the buses. The buses, you know, it's tight, plus I'm a big guy, so, you know, the train ride was smooth. You know, I might start taking the train more now, actually.
Amtrak workers told us in the past couple of weeks they've seen a slight uptick in sales amid concerns over airports, whether for a family emergency or a vacation like this family heading to Miami.
Porque ha habido problemas con los viajes en los aviones.
They said because all the travel troubles with planes, this is only their second time going by train instead. Now, just hoping the government gets back on track.
So hopefully they clear this thing up real soon and we'll be back to normal.
It's unclear what Thanksgiving travel will look like this year, with so many things still up in the air. Coming up, a travel expert shares her advice for your holiday plans.
Frontier flight, first it was delayed and then it got canceled completely. So now I have to wait a whole another day. They're only sending out one flight a day for Frontier. So that's where I'm at. Exhausted, tired. I'm trying to keep my hopes up, really. So yeah, I'm tired.
I will never travel again. If I travel again, I will drive. Because I don't trust any airports. I don't trust any of this stuff anymore. I have totally lost faith in whatever it is, the system.
I don't see travel going from 0 to 100 overnight. I think it is going to take a few days or weeks to get back to the normal travel pattern and get all people in place to make travel safe again.
Travelers there voicing their frustrations and concerns as the government shutdown forced the FAA to scale back flights. Many people are keeping an eye on the situation at airports. Some may even be wondering what to do about holiday travel plans. Lauren Scafidi with our station in Denver spoke to a travel expert for tips.
Joining me to share some advice, we have Juliana Brosti, or Traveling Jules. Thanks so much for being here today.
Of course. Thanks for having me, Lauren.
Absolutely. So what should we plan for the holidays? I mean, we're seeing all these delays and cancellations. What do you think?
Right. Travel is always a little bit stressful and hectic because you just never know. And during the holidays, there are so many more people, trying to squeeze in a trip in the same period of time. So really just planning extra time. You can never have too much time, an extra hour to get there early. Download your airlines app so you have up-to-the-date information right there in your hand. And especially you can check on, Denver International Airport's website, the TSA wait times, so you can know what to expect, if it's a long wait or an even longer wait.
That's really good advice for people who already have their tickets, because now it's mid-November, people already have their tickets. They're like, we're going.
Right. I know. We got our fingers crossed. I mean, again, you just want to be prepared for anything and be flexible. I am a big fan. If you already have your ticket, you might want to consider having a second ticket, just maybe a refundable, or maybe buy one on points that you can always get your points back. That way you have double the opportunity to get to the destination so that you're not stressed, and a little bit more flexibility. So that's something I've practiced many times. I often buy one-way tickets so that if one direction is affected, you're not being punished for a price increase on the other half. So just look into if two one-way tickets is the same price as a round trip, and then you can keep extra flexibility.
If you can see the wheels turning in my head right now, I'm taking all of the notes because that's such good advice. Those are great ideas. Another idea that people are having right now is to just drive. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, you can never, have more independence and freedom than when you're behind the wheel. And just if you have the time, you can always find delightful experiences along the way. You might find a cool stop, or just some attraction that you've always wanted to visit. But it does, sometimes when you look into the total travel time, when you go to the airport early, you look into, waiting for your baggage and all of the extra time, sometimes driving is a great resource. So definitely consider that.
And that could be all the fun too, right? Just a big road trip.
Yeah.
What other advice are we missing here?
Well, travel insurance is always important, because if there is a trip delay on your flight, especially 6 hours or more, you're often eligible for the prize, right? It could be $150 or $250, depends on your plan. But that can be nice to have in your pocket, knowing, okay, I got delayed, but at least I'm not, paying extra for those meals, or even an overnight if you have to stay grounded a little bit longer. So yeah, there's a lot of different strategies for folks traveling. I like to stay charged, having, an extra battery charger, so that I'm always able to check my phone and see what's up to date, what's the news today.
That is another piece of good advice, because you can't always find a charger. You can't always find an outlet.
Yes, people really, get protective over their outlets.
They do. Well, Jules, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you breaking it all down.
Again, the timeline for air travel returning to normal after the government shutdown ends is still unclear. We'll continue to monitor updates. But for now, I'm Tram Mai. Thanks for watching.